Good afternoon. We are at the Archeological Museum of Thessaloniki. Chrissy wasn't feeling all that well this morning, but we got out this afternoon and looking forward to checking this out.
We finished our museum tour. It was specifically on the area of Thessaloniki. We got some kitties following us now. It's a good museum. I think a lot of the things that were taken away here from Thessaloniki must be in Athens or in other places, because there was some things here, but then you see pictures of it before the World War, and there was a lot more things here, like full sculptures and things of Poseidon and Zeus that we absolutely did not see. But it was still interesting, and for the price, I definitely recommend it while you're in this area.
We have arrived at St. Demetrios' church, and what's significant about this is that he's the patron saint of Thessaloniki. This particular church was originally built in the 4th century, but of course, due to what happens to most old cities of the time, fire happened and they rebuilt in the 7th century, what you currently see behind me.
Of St. Demetrios Cathedral Church. This is one of the most important churches in the area because it's named after the patron saint of Thessaloniki. The crypts were originally a bathhouse, a Roman bathhouse, and now have kind of become the crypts. This church was originally made in like the 7th century, and so in the crypts they don't have any tombs or anything, but they have remnants of that original church and what they've been able to keep during this entire 2,000-year period.
What's interesting about this church is that they actually have the bones of the saint in this church. At least what we've run into so far. I don't know how normal this is. Maybe you can comment below, but it was very interesting to find the saint's bones still existing within this church. Yeah, so we were actually having a hard time finding gyros for a couple days, but I'm glad we were able to finally find it.
After our gyros, we found dessert.
So it took a bite. There's something inside here. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it's pretty good.
It's sweet, like a honey?
Yeah. This morning, we are going to check out the Byzantine History Museum here in Thessaloniki, and looking forward to learning more about that side of the history.
So these are an example of water pipes used in the early times. So this museum covers anything from the original Byzantine Empire and when that started to religious artifacts to old houses and cemeteries, mosaics, and then it runs all the way through the 19th century when Greece got its independence. We wanted to give our final thoughts on Greece and Thessaloniki. We've both been to Greece before. This is the third time you've been to Greece and the second time I've been to Greece. So nothing super surprised us or was very unique about this trip since we've been here before. But it was fun being in the northern regions. We really enjoyed going to Meteora and learning about the history of the area and seeing the geology. We had a really good no-frills trip that we enjoyed.
We really enjoyed visiting the churches and the archaeological sites, whether it's the currently still existing walls of the city or, whatever they've excavated from trying to build something new. You can still kind of run into some of the stuff that they're still discovering. You then visit the museums and you then get to learn about probably exactly what they're still continuing to find in the city. So it all really complements each other for the history of Thessaloniki and just obviously for how old Greece is. There's a lot of history to cover back to the Byzantine and Ottoman times and so on and so forth. So overall, just a really fun historical city and country to visit for history buffs.
And going to Greece, it's great because it feels like a different culture than a typical European city. I think that has to do a lot with because the language is much different and the actual writing is different. It's not the Latin writing. But at the same time, you have the comforts of being in the EU and you know what comes with that, having the euro and everything else. So it's a exciting, different place to go to, but still has the same comforts that many Europeans and Americans tend to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, for the next time we come back to Greece, because, there's still way more to do in this country. Somehow there's still way more to do, whether it's the stuff in between Thessaloniki and Athens that you can still discover, or the countless islands that Greece also has that we have not yet been to from the last time we visited Athens. So we'll definitely be back to Greece at some point once we get a new trip planned, but always giving us a good time here in Greece.